Well, yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world, and welcome along to the F2 Creator Series powered by EA Sports. My name, as always, is TK, and alongside me in the commentary box this afternoon, we have the man, the myth, the legend, F1 Scott. Scott, how are you doing today?
I am in such a good mood, TK. Glad to be here with you. So excited today because we're heading to Baku, which is probably one of my favourite tracks in the world. I think it's going to be so exciting, especially bringing us our second ever F2 race at the Creator Series. Yeah, just happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. Like you said, we head straight into our sprint race here in Baku. Azerbaijan is the host for round two. And can Matty D hold on to his sprint race domination that he showed last week in China?
It was quite insane, to be honest. He just had one of those races. I think he'll be looking to repeat on that. It's going to be an interesting one, though. Baku is a very hard track, especially for the F2 cars. Not too sure, are we going to struggle here or are we going to exceed expectations? I think either way, we're going to have a very exciting race on our hands.
We are exactly. Drivers are just heading out on their formation lap, but for the time being, I believe it's the first time we will see the super soft tyres in action here in our Formula 2 Championship. Tell us a little bit about that. How's that going to change the dynamic on the track?
Well, they're going to be really, as I just say, super soft tyres. They're going to go really fast. That's the thing about tyre wear with. And as we say, they're going out for the formation lap. A couple of people, or is it Matt Ames already disqualified? I might be wrong, but I feel like that maybe means that your tyres can't warm up as well as other drivers. What do you think?
Yeah, after the disqualification, I mean, their tyres will be rock cold starting this Grand Prix, and I mean, it's only an 11-lap sprint round here. That one lap getting your tyres up to temperature could be crucial for our drivers here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And with what we have 11 laps in the sprint race at Baku, a lot can go wrong. Street circuit, very tight, especially with ghosting off. That's going to be a really interesting dynamic. It might not even be a driver v driver sort of incident. It could just be someone making a mistake, holding up the entire grid, and who knows what could happen.
Yeah, we've even seen in Formula 1 just how easy it is to make mistakes around this circuit. Charles Leclerc, to name one, heading into the castle section. It wouldn't be a Formula 1 stream without that being mentioned. But yeah, these Formula 2 cars, they're so much more difficult to handle. And maybe in some inexperienced hands, we'll definitely see some action into the barriers.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that memory will ever be forgotten about with Charles. I think that's with us for the next 50, 60 years as we see the guys going through the castle section as well. Such a cool track, right? Not many tracks go around a castle. Such great visuals we've got on the F2 game as well. As we see, they're all nearly there onto the final straight. Yeah, it's a very high risk, high reward track. Who's going to be brave enough to make some moves? Maybe because I'm guessing there will be maybe similar speeds on the main straight. DRS might not be the most powerful, or it might be over expected as power. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the DRS is going to be good today?
I think it's going to be quite powerful. It's a really long straight down that start-finish straight. I think the intermediary, so to speak, where the back straight won't be as powerful, but definitely down the start-finish straight, we'll see a lot of overtakes into turn one.
And what are we thinking about the braking line? So as we're coming down that long straight, going into turn one, are we all going to make our braking points, or are we going to see a few people, do you think, heading off?
I think we'll see a few heading off into those runoff zones. We know how crucial it can be to be right on the money in your brakes. But yeah, those runoff zones will be seeing a lot of action, I fear.
Oh yeah, especially in like sector one, right? We come to turn one, right? So that's going to be hard enough. But let's say you get that. Even turn two is so tight. Like, you're not really getting two cars through that together unless you're real. I mean, the F2 cars are a bit smaller, I guess. So maybe it will open up to corners like that for people to make moves. But then obviously heading down the DRS straight into turn three, again, we're going to see runoffs. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Grand Prix. It's going to be a really great event as our drivers are just lining up in their grid spots. Quite a few disqualifications for not quite hitting their parking markers.
I love it. This is going to be great. I'm so looking forward to this. My favorite track in the world. So happy to be here. We're nearly all on the finishing grid. I'm going to let you take it away from here. Have fun.
Well, let's switch into our race view as our drivers do get on the grid. No one at an extreme angle quite yet. We haven't seen anyone pointing left, kind of aiming for that first corner, but we will hop on board. It's probably a great camera angle, waiting for those lights to start. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here for the second time. The Formula 2 Championship gets underway for the sprint race. A fantastic start for Distinct, heading out of the blocks. Adam Sanderson, though, tries an early move down the inside. There's contact between him and Distinct. A massive collision. A lot of cars getting damaged, wing damage as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a safety car out early here.
That was insane. As we go, oh my god, and Alex is fighting with Duncan and Sincerely. Oh, this is insanely close. We are basically 3 wide. Sincerely, Duncan and Matty all going up. We've already had some losers from that first corner. Hoodie Pete down a few traps as well. As we're going into turn 3, is it going to be safe? They're all trying their best, but there's just not enough space. Oh, very nicely done.
Oh, we got someone spinning around. Duncan spinning around at the back. It was a dive by Matt Amos by the look of it, which caused contact with Badgerman. Another spin, and the Invicta car getting some side pod damage. How has the safety car not come out yet? Matt Amos gets the first penalty of the session with a severe collision with yours truly. And there we go, VSC out. Not even a lap through this Grand Prix.
Wow. Wow, I cannot. There was almost too much to happen there. Badgerman just need to say up 10 places in 1 lap. Can we just say that? As well as Alex and Matty both up 7 and 6 places. Rob a big winner as well at the start of that. But Artemis taking a big hit there, down 15 spots. And that's not to mention there might be damage that's kind of hard to tell. I think a bit of the wing has been removed there. That was exactly what we thought a Baku sprint start was going to be like without ghosting. That was insane. They all tried their best, but there is just not enough space sometimes, is there?
Yeah, it was a case of too many cars trying to go into a very tight corner. Adam Sanderson sent one down the inside. There's contact even under the virtual safety car. F1 Alex in the Van Amersfoort racing car, causing a collision, I believe, with someone else. I didn't quite see who that was. And he's dropping a lot of places here.
He is waiting for the time to get back out. Yet he is right down to the back now, unsure at what happened there. Very, very unlikely for us to see. Oh, and Matty's just picked up a drive-through penalty. He was speeding under the safety car, which has now been let go. That's not going to be good for him either. Wow, what a crazy start. Just need to see. Oh, and there's been a DNF, Mikey. Mikey's went in at the end of turn 18 straight into the wall. I've seen people do it hundreds of times, and he has done it sadly. What has happened? And Daniel as well as DNF. We've lost 2 cars in the first lap. My God, TK.
Wow, I have no words to describe what's happened in this first lap here of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The battle between Adam Sanderson and Badgerman has been fantastic. Matty D getting that drive-through penalty, which causes him to drop from 3rd down to 12th. And then Mikey just ending his race through the barriers in Sector 3. I've spoken to a lot of drivers before this race. They said they've got to lift off going through that section, especially through turn 18, 19 and 20. Otherwise, you will end up in the barrier. And unfortunately, the Invicta car of Mikey Silks has found that out very early on.
Wow, and we have our safety car now. Now it's a full safety car. We've had our 1 virtual. Now we have a safety car. And we have Jess, I think, just going into the pits or coming out of the pits now. Must have picked up damage. And Alex at the back as well, just coming out of the pits. Well, they'll be happy, I guess, to see the safety car. They get a chance to catch back up. I can honestly, words cannot describe that there was too much chaos there. Well, we will need to go back. We will need to look at that in slow-mo at some point, because what just happened?
I'm sure the
drivers will be talking about it.
I'm sure they will be. There'll be a lot of discussion about that after the race. Let us know in chat as well what you think of that race start. Zach RC gets himself a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. The driver currently in 13th is going to be dropping down to 16th when this eventually gets back underway. Of course, you cannot serve those drive-throughs during the safety car period. And I think that hampers his chances here, don't you think?
Oh, that's so unfortunate as well. He must have taken his eye off the Delta for that 15 seconds. Must have been going too fast. Wow, we have seen everything. We've seen DNFs, we've seen spins, we've seen drive-throughs during safety cars. Like, we're on lap 2. We're on lap 2, people. And as we have Sanderson in the lead, Badgerman in 2nd, Rob 3rd. Again, they've done very well. They seem to just avoid a lot of the chaos there. yeah, they'll be very happy the way this race has went from. As I say, Badgeman up 10 spots, Rob up 11 spots now. Artemis down 10. Artemis actually was quite at the bottom, but seemed to be that brief time between the virtual safety car and the actual safety car. Artemis got a few spots up there, done quite well. And yeah, obviously Jess as well at the back with the pit stop. But hopefully fresher tyres for the safety car reset might actually come into play, maybe lap 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, we've got a couple of our drivers heading into the pits for a fresh set of tyres. You're sincerely getting a wing change as well, so definitely involved in some contact earlier on. But it is Adam Sanderson that leads the race after the initial turn 1 contact. Very, very lucky indeed that he didn't come out with some form of wing damage from that.
Right, I just like sometimes these cars can be a bit strange though. I can see them sometimes maybe not getting damage when you would think they would, but then at the same time picking up damage in some situations you would think they maybe wouldn't pick up damage. So sometimes it does seem a little bit of a lucky sort of, you know, are you going to be lucky on that day? Yeah, as we're all sort of catching back up to the safety car, I just cannot believe what we've just watched. Quite insane. This is what Baku brings us. This is why we love Baku. It's one of the highlights on the track for me. You never know what's going to happen. Very dangerous, very fast-paced with a lot of 90-degree corners where a lot can go wrong, and we have seen that.
Yeah, I spoke just a minute ago. I actually have to correct myself. Adam Sanderson has come out with wing damage. He's missing a front right end plate rather. That will definitely affect his performance here for the rest of the race. But deciding not to pit and having to drop those positions, surely that's got to be the wrong move here.
You would think so, but I mean, is the damage going to be bad? The one thing I will say is my limited experience with the F2 cars, having a bit of damage, it was definitely detrimental, but it wasn't as bad as, for instance, the F1 cars. And they did seem to be able to, you know, keep up a certain amount of pace, just having to anticipate some of the corners a bit more. But he does have Rob behind him, who's been very fast.
Yeah, Rob's been very quick in the opening round of the season. We saw how quick he was in China. And,
exactly.
Sorry, no, keep going.
Exactly. He's very fast. Like, I wouldn't want him behind me right now. He's got good momentum. But we're also seeing, you know, Hayden in 6th place. It seems to be where he likes to be, and then sort of creeps his way up as he's going. So the race is going that way for him as well. Yeah, B-Roy and down in 12. He will definitely be looking to get into the points in this race if he can. He's got Duncan Persian sincerely in front of him.
Yeah, we spoke last week about how Hayden is one of those drivers that will just wait for the opportunity to present itself. He won't try a stupid move down the inside, and we see it again here where he's got himself up into P6. What is interesting to note, him and Badger having that little grudge rivalry last week in China. Do you reckon we'll see that come into anything further around Baku?
I mean, of course they're both fast drivers. If they get close to each other, they're going to be fair, but they're also going to really push each other to the track limits. They're going to, you know, these are two good racers, and that's what we love to see in racing. We love to see as fair driving as we can, but obviously sometimes the track is only so wide, so we might see something. Unless new rivalries have been born in this race after 4 laps, you never know. We might see some new close encounters, but yeah, looks like we've settled down. We're still waiting on the rest of the pack to catch up. This has been quite a crazy start, but would we have it any other way at Baku?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a rivalry forming between Art Imis and Adam Sanderson after that turn 1 contact. The driver that did start on pole position very quickly dropping positions, and they'll be out for a little bit of revenge, I'm fearing.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, hopefully they'll be talking to each other. This might be a case of just, as we were saying before, the brake markers for this track, they can be very, very hard. It seems like you just need to brake so early for Baku where anything can go wrong. And I think that's what we've seen. I think we've seen people braking where they think they should have braked, but actually maybe needing to be, 10, 15 meters beforehand.
Yeah, exactly that. I think there's a lot of nerves as well that's coming into this race. You don't get the traditional kind of nerve calmer that is the qualifying session beforehand. You've come straight into this from your own personal practice and then being tipped up against 17 other drivers that are all wanting the same thing. The nerves must have been over kind of sky high when those lights started to come on.
Yeah, you got a good point there, right? Like we all do a lot of racing, but we're usually used to having having some sort of qualifying, right? That I use that as my warm-up lap. I'm never the best in qualifying. That's my warm-up lap. Let me know if my setup's right or not. And yeah, like you're right, just having to come in straight away onto F2 cars that, you know, they have been practicing, but they're definitely not as experienced in them as they will be the F1 cars at this point, onto one of the hardest tracks in the world to do. It's like fair play to them. Yeah, we've had a couple of instances. It's been really, really unfortunate for Daniel and Mikey. But I guess fair play to everyone for trying their best.
Yeah, it takes a lot of nerve to rock up each week with pretty much zero practice in a race scenario, and try and perform your best for 11 straight laps. Although we have had pretty much half this race under safety car at the moment, as all our drivers tending to go with different strategies. A few still diving into the pits, notably at the moment B-Roy, who's headed in, I believe, for Fresh's Super Softs.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, because I think everyone's been thinking the safety car was going to come in, but it's went out another lap. So they've looked at their tyre wear, they've looked at their strats, and now we're thinking that super softs. Like, is that going to be risky? That could be risky, but it is going to be about 6 laps.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have 5 or 6 laps left of racing, assuming no more safety cars, of course. And those super softs will definitely get them to the end, and the speed advantage over the mediums will be considerable.
Well, then maybe that's the play. I mean, Duncan did come in a little bit earlier with his super soft, so I'm hoping it still will be the same for him. But yeah, like, this could be really good. I'm going to be looking. We'll be looking at Alex, Roy, B-Roy, Matty. I'm going to see how they're doing there. At the end of the day, they might have faster tires, but they're going to have to get round other people in Baku in the F2 cars, and that is a challenge in itself.
Exactly. 4 out of our 16 remaining drivers, 25% of them going on to the super softs. So it'll be a real tell here between the medium runners and the super softs in terms of overall pace and how long those tyres are going to last. Hopefully, though, we will see the safety car in either this lap or next lap. There we go. Race control confirming it's coming in this lap as we cross the Sector 2 timing line. Badgerman will be in control of this race restart. And if you were him at the moment, where are you looking to drop the hammer?
I am thinking whatever gets me the jump on them so I don't get bashed into turn 1. That's what I'm thinking, because that's his biggest weakness now, is that if someone else misses the brakes behind him, that could potentially be a first position gone. I think he would maybe go as late as he can. That would be my thinking, so hopefully, just a bit later than expected.
Yeah,
as I say. He goes early.
He does. He goes round turn 20 right at the start of the straight. Catches Adam a little bit slacking here. Obviously, no ERS in these Formula 2 cars. What's going to happen into turn 1? Will Adam make it through? He dives down the inside once again. Makes it through fairly cleanly, and the rest of them file through turn 1 very neatly indeed. And everyone is through safely on this occasion. Although it's a spin for Badgerman coming through turn 3. He's lost more end plate of his car. And that's not going to help his chances. He's going to drop places. Adam is dropping places as well. I think it was actually his wing that has gone after the collision into Badgerman. Bit of a weave there from, I think that's Matt. Into the wall he goes.
Oh, damage. That was... I'm not too sure what happened there. Usually we shouldn't be seeing this on a straight. It looks like he's had a collision with Sanderson as well. He's picked up 5 seconds, and now he has no wing. And now we have our second safety car. We got half a lap. TK, we got half a lap. Oh my God. Matt Ames has a 10.
No.
He just went straight into the wall.
I think
fluffed it.
He's messed up here. The Matt Amos DNF from race number 1. After that, I don't quite know what happened earlier. It looked like a bit of a tank slapper turning him into the wall, and that is him out of this sprint race.
This is mad. This has been 6 laps of Baku. Have we had 1 racing lap? Have we had 1.5 potentially? I don't even know anymore. We've lost 4 drivers. Zach, I think, went into the pits to retire because of the drive-through. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what happened with them. But we've had 3 actual DNFs. We had half a lap.
We've had about a total of a lap of racing so far around Baku. I think a lot of this is nerves. A lot of this is maybe inexperience in the Formula 2 cars. But Rob has managed to sneak up into second place. Hayden Gullis, still sticking with P5.
Like, yeah, he has this ability to just seem to avoid trouble right now, and at the end of the day, like, a race like this, anyone can win, right? A race like this is all about avoiding the chaos at this point. He seems to be doing very well with that. like Badgerman as well. Good on him staying in first. Hoodie Pete also. Let's just say he's kind of just been staying around that sort of area, doing really well for himself. Sanderson obviously had the incident with the contact with Matt. So does he have any damage or anything? It's hard to see. I don't really see anything, but you never know there. We have Hayden come into the pits now. By the way, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit of a late pit call there from Hayden Gullis. He's coming in for super softs and a wing change as well, so maybe he got caught up in that earlier incident, one that we didn't quite see. A lot of drivers, especially with ghosting off here in the Creator Series, those chain reaction sort of crashes can happen.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of wings go on. Also, B-Roy being able to serve his drive-through, sorry, not his drive-through, his 5-second penalty, that's going to be quite good for him. Because that was going to hamper him, especially in the sprint race. So if he gets a good restart now he's not getting hampered.
Yeah, it's a really crucial bit for B-Roy there. That 5-second being removed, and now we can really start to battle some of these drivers and get those higher positions up for the sprint race, and knowing that that post-race penalty won't be coming his way.
Wow, so okay, so I'm sorry, what you saying?
Do you reckon that frees up his mind a little bit to kind of race a little bit more aggressively here, or is he kind of still in that mindset where he's got to be cautious?
I think everyone's maybe going to be a little bit cautious right now because we're seeing how quick your race can end, no matter if you're first or if you're 14th at this point. I feel like everyone's just going to be looking behind them, and looking in front, making sure no one takes their car out. I've been looking at the position changes just so we know heroes and zeros of the race so far. We have Badgerman up 11 spots, Rob up 12 spots, Persia up 10 spots. He's now in 8th, so could potentially see some points. Artemis down 11 spots, unfortunately, and Jess is down 8 spots. And that seems to be the sort of biggest movers so far.
Yeah, I think Perja kind of sitting unnoticed in the middle of the pack at the moment, currently sitting in P8, just above Matty D, who was, of course, the sprint race winner last week. They've kind of gone under the radar at the moment, haven't they?
They have indeed. Matty's has had 3 pit stops as well, and he's still in the middle of the pack, so he's doing well. I think that's great. Compared to Hayden behind him only having 1 stop, so I don't know how that's happened, but amazing. Yeah, by the way, Alex is on 4 pit stops now, so he's taking the lead on that challenge.
Yeah, a lot of pit stops for Alex, maybe just a little bit of not too much confidence in the car as much as some of the other drivers. But what is nice to see is that the entire grid now is penalty free for the rest of the race.
That's great. Well, we'll see. The safety car's not out yet. Seeing a little bit of overtaking going on in the safety car. I'm not too sure what's happening there between Hayden and B-Roy, but I'm sure it's nothing. We've got a few drivers still catching up, but hopefully they will catch by the end of this lap. We might get 2 more laps of this sprint race. Is flowing by safety car central, as we like to say. But of course, Baku. I'm sure everyone will take valuable lessons from this sprint onto the future race. I think we won't be as bad. At the end of the day, you've got to do this for the first time. Baku and the F2 cars with a lot of good racers that are quite close to each other. This is going to happen. Hopefully we move forwards and this sort of happens a bit less.
Of course, I think it comes with confidence. The more you race in these Formula 2 cars, the more you get used to how they can handle, how late you can break into a turn in effect. And the more confidence will come later on in the weeks. Bear in mind, some guys missing out on the race this afternoon. They won't have this experience on a street circuit. That might hamper them later on in the calendar.
Yeah, it might, because these cars are very different. We're seeing incidents that we normally wouldn't see. These cars are very different. I myself took a trip around Baku in the F2 cars earlier on this week. And the difference is crazy. As I say, Baku is my favourite track. I noticed the differences that you need to do between F1 and F2. It's quite mad to be able to do that consistently, but also be pushing yourself to that sort of high line of where you can actually try and win the race is going to result in accidents. It always is.
100%. You've got to be pushing the cars to their absolute limit to try and get everything out of them through here. As we head through the timing line of Sector 2, safety car not in this lap, so we will have another parade lap, so to speak, here through the Baku City Circuit. Just as a reminder for next week, it is, of course, the fan-voted GP, the return of the well-loved fan-voted GP. So just keep an eye on social media for how you can vote for your track to be included in that. Don't want to be biased. Let's send these drivers to Monaco.
Oh, that could be good. Maybe Vegas again?
Oh,
Yeah,
Vegas would be good in the
that's
F2 cars.
right, right. Maybe it might even be more grip. People in the chat, what would you like? Let us know. Also, we can find Creator Series on all social media platforms as well. Get following, get sharing, get all that sort of stuff. YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok. You can see it up the top of the screen. Get them added.
Yeah, I know a lot of content going on there. Hopefully very soon. The guys who do all the magic with all that are working overtime. They do fantastic work, so go give them a lot of love as well.
Yeah, and also if anyone's been watching the drivers and potentially have some sort of POVs of some of these incidents, whatever, I'm sure the guys over at the Creator Series would love to see it so that they can start debating.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's always appreciated to put stream clips in the Discord. And I believe that's ! Discord in the chat. That should work. I might be wrong on that, but I believe that's how you can find the Discord. Hopefully, though, we will get racing again. I'm hoping we'll get 2 laps of racing here at the end, because then the safety car is almost guaranteed to not come out.
Right, yeah, it gets to a certain point, it can't happen. We're going to have 2 laps of racing no matter what happens. Who will be the winners, who will be the losers of it? It's going to be interesting. We have different tyre strats, so obviously we still have the super softs kind of down the bottom as opposed to the medium guys up the top. At this stage, even if the tires have, like, I don't know, are we going to get to the main straight to see? We'll find out. Like, I've got a funny feeling Hayden, B-Roy, Artemis, Jess, and Alex will have will have some hope in their hearts. I don't think it's going to be over for them yet. I'm really hoping that this tyre choice was good because, yeah, this is an unexpected race with the amount of safety car laps.
Yeah, I think Duncan could have pulled off a really great strategy called going onto the super softs early. He's done 6 laps of them, but all of those 6 laps have pretty much been under safety car, so they shouldn't be too degraded at this period of time. He is the highest runner on super softs. What sort of impact would you be looking to have as we head into the next racing lap? Safety car is in this lap, of course.
Oh, well, here we go. This is everyone just breathe, relax. They're going to get through it. They've had 2 attempts at it now. I'm sure we'll get it right on the 3rd time. If I'm Duncan right now, I'm thinking I've got a chance to win this, so let's not mess it up by being a bit too aggressive in turn 1 too. I think he's going to be wanting to just hold back a little bit. If he has to overtake, he will. But yeah, I think hold back, be a bit cautious, and let people make mistakes in front.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go then. Down the main straight they go. Badgers drops the hammer. Got a little bit of a gap on Rob, but Rob says, I'm going to stick exactly with you. Heading down into turn 1. All of them move to the right-hand side of the track, trying to get the max angle through the corner. And yours sincerely already making up a position on Adam Sanderson through turn 1. Fantastic pass for the Invicta car as we head down towards turn 2. Down to the inside go 2 of the cars. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. That's Alex and Duncan. Another serial collision with a lot of cars at the back of the grid there, but we're going to keep looking forward. We're going to keep looking forward. Rob takes the lead from Badgerman, and he now leads the Azerbaijan sprint race. The ART teammates are not having no love lost between the 2 of them. Hoodie Pete, though, really hanging on behind the 2 leaders. Yours sincerely, off that earlier overtake, still maintains 4th position.
I cannot believe it. So the field, we kind of just get split in half there. The top sort of 5 guys got away. Everyone below, it was a standstill. I was looking down the bottom of it. It was an absolute standstill. Duncan's lost a few spots again. It's all went a bit bad for everyone. There was a couple of incidents. I couldn't even see who it was. There was that many of it. But the whole grids get blocked. We have damage on a few cars. We're not going to have safety cars. And honestly, so for the top 5, Rob Badgerman, Hoodie Pete, Sincerely Persia, they have just nailed this with that. They were not caught in the carnage. They've just been able to keep going. And yeah, there's a 4-second gap now between that. I think I just seen Mate's left the session as well. I'm not sure if that's something that's went wrong for him, so we'll try and get him back.
B-Roy's crash. You can just see that on the left-hand side of your screen as we caught Jess Games going past his crashed car, but there will be no safety car, of course, on the penultimate lap here of the sprint race. Still on board with Badgerman and Rob as they fly through Sector 3 here. Hoodie Pete hitting the wall a little bit further back in the screen as well. F1 Alex gets himself a 5-second penalty for a collision with Armitage. But here we go, on to the final lap of the race. Can anyone unstop Rob here in the sprint race? If it can be anyone, it will be Badgerman.
And he's given it his best go. He has lost DRS though, but I don't think that would even matter at this stage in the race anymore. Since You're Sincerely is overtaking Persia. Oh, and Hoodie Pete has lost a couple of spots in the one corner there. We have a lot of spots changing as well as Alex has spun. He's went too far in turn one. He's coming back onto the track now. That is down in last place. This has been quite insane. It's hard to keep up with every single thing that's going on. And Persia is taking third place back. Very tight race here, neck and neck. Quite mad. Persia's now up 15 spots for the race, by the way. We're into the last lap, up 15 spots. How insane is that?
Yeah, he's done very well. Started last place in this sprint race. He now finds himself on the podium spots. We said earlier he's gone a little bit under the radar, finding himself in P10 during the safety car period. Managed to avoid all the carnage at that last safety car restart and now finds himself in a podium position. If he can just hold on, those super softs have been working excellently for the MP Motorsport car, but it's not going to be anything on Rob and Badgerman at the moment. These two are driving an absolutely spectacular race as we head now through turns 13 and 14 down towards the left-hander of 15. Matty rejoining the session, thankfully. But these two ART cars are going to take steps 1 and 2 on the podium after a fantastic sprint race drive from the both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Hayden down in 8th, really pushing for that 7th spot between him and Alex, getting very close, and that will be an interesting fight down the straight. But Rob, he has nailed this. This has been a very chaotic race. He has just wiggled his way through the whole lobby and looks like he's going to take a sprint win. Put that with his China main race win, that's just going to be great. Hayden overtakes into 7th, coming into the final straight. Looks like he will be able to take that. What a race, TK, right?
Yeah, fantastic race. He won China for the feature race. He rounds that off with a sprint race victory in Azerbaijan. Badgerman coming in P2. Persia, after starting last on the grid, secures P3. Yours sincerely takes P4. Hoodie Pete will take P5. Matty D, after the disconnect, does hold on to P6. Hayden Gullis, after some fantastic overtakes on that last lap, will secure P7. Alex in P8. They are your point scorers here in Azerbaijan sprint race.
I don't even know what to say. That was chaos. That was chaos. Like, well done for everyone for trying their best. I'm sure we'll hear from some of the drivers about particular incidents as well. But good on everyone for getting through. Unlucky to our people that we DNF, but they do have another track.
Exactly.
They have the main feature. Yep, they have enough practice for that one-shot qualifying, which is going to be very interesting. There's not too many places you can invalidate on this track. So we do have the one-shot qualifying. It's going to be down to pace. It's going to be down to mistakes. It's going to be down to that sort of thing. Who do you think is going to take pole for that?
I think it's going to be a really interesting one. We saw Rob with pole last week in China, and I think after that drive, he's got to be tipped as number 1 to take pole once again. We're expecting that pole time to be around a 152, high 152. Obviously, it's a one-shot qualifying session. There's no safety net here like we see in a traditional qualifying session. How do you think that changes your preparation heading into this race?
I think right now, every bit of prep that everyone's done has been thrown out the window. I won't lie. I think after just how chaotic that race was, do you even want to start in the middle of the pack? Do you actually want to start at the back, but there's no ghosting on? Maybe the grid will get blocked again. Do you want to be as high up as you can? I don't know. I've raced with fast racers before, and sometimes they don't just want to be in 5th, 6th, 7th place at a track like this. I don't know. Can we just say though, ART, the team, they have been dominating so far. I know we've only had China and half of Baku. They have been dominating. They're doing very well in constructors-wise. Yeah,
Badgerman, the strategy mastermind, has pulled off a fantastic bit of racing here in the sprint race. I'd love to see what happens next in the feature race. He knows the kind of the background information. He knows what to do with the strategy right. And if him and Rob can pull off a good team effort here, I expect to see them once again 1-2 on the podium.
Oh, exactly. And I'm sure you're going to see some of the people down the bottom that were maybe a bit more unfortunate, like B-Roy, like others, who are thinking, right, okay, anything can happen in this race. This is not about speed. This is about tactics. This is about being able to see what's happening and be able to avoid that trouble. Be in the right tyres if we do, for instance, get another safety car, etc., etc. There is definitely other ways to win this other than raw pace.
Yeah, exactly. There will be a short pause just as everything gets reset for the lobby as we head into a one-shot qualifying session. But yeah, it's really interesting. We will see the Super Softs in action in that one-shot qualifying. They were very, very quick at the end of that sprint race, and hopefully some very quick times coming up in the one-shot quali too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they seem to last a lot longer than I thought, but obviously a lot of that was in the safety car, right? So the tyres weren't getting used properly. Obviously, for one-shot qualifying, it's going to be nothing but just sheer pace. Very excited. It's very fun to watch a one-shot qualifying. I kind of like seeing everyone sort of kind of overtake like mad. Yeah, very exciting. Can't really get my head around it. Really, I'm going to have to watch that back maybe like 3 or 4 times, really, to just see everything that actually happened. Just wow.
I'd love to see if we could get a breakdown of all of the driver angles, just seeing everything that happened into that turn 1 and turn 3 especially, because that would be some fantastic footage to watch.
Oh, wouldn't it? And I just can't believe the grids get blocked. It's like, it's like, I've been in races where that happens. It's the worst thing that can happen. You're just watching everyone else in front of you just drive away, and you're like, I can't get through you. I'm going to get damaged. I love it. It's chaotic. It's Baku. It's my favourite track, and it's not disappointing at all. I'm so buzzed.
It's been such a great Grand Prix since it came into the Formula 1 calendar in 2016, originally labelled the European Grand Prix, and obviously then from 2017 onwards being known as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Formula 2 racing there every single year except COVID. And yeah, these drivers definitely getting themselves prepped as we wait for the lobby to get reset here.
Yeah, I'm also like you're doing Baku, right? Like, you find out you're commentating Baku and you're thinking, right, who's going to do it at Castle section? You know what I mean? Who's going to mess up? Turns out, not really anyone that I've seen. All the chaos seemed to be everywhere else on the track and not at the most famous bit where I'm saying, yeah, this is where it's going to happen. Like,
yeah,
no.
I'm not a massive betting man, but if I had to put something on an incident happening on this track, it is going to be the tight castle section. But I'm very impressed at all of our drivers getting through there very, very safely. Maybe it's turn 3 we need to watch more often than this castle section.
Yeah, that's it. Like turn 1, turn 3. It's so, especially turn 3 if to get that DRS turned on, because that's just going to be even harder. It's what we're just seeing. We're seeing good racers trying to get used to a new type of car. And especially, like, what I've noticed as well, depending on how they were practicing for this race, if they were practicing in time trials or if they were actually doing like open sort of in the game, the races itself, very different. You might find that people were actually a bit more used to the time trial way the cars felt and not the actual game, which is quite a big difference.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of drivers saying that the grip in time trial compared to the Grand Prix in the game has been completely different. So a lot of different preps going into this weekend definitely means a lot different results.
Yeah, exactly, because like the tire wear goes down so fast, you need to be able to practice on these cars with used tires, because you know, like the F1 soft, like F1 cars with the soft tires, they do go down fast enough, but it's honestly, it's a whole new level with these F2 cars. The percentages just goes up and up and up, and you need to be able to drive with that, like not just in time trial where your tires always stay zero.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to know how to handle these cars when the tyre grip pretty much disappears, and that is where it slightly differs from Formula 1 as well.
Right, but I can't believe it. Like, the thing about F2 is, yes, the cars might be slower, but they're smaller. It means that drivers are more, they've not got as much fear to actually go for maybe some of these moves that maybe, for instance, in F1 cars they couldn't get. I kind of like that. I feel like you get an extremely tight race and you can get 3 cars sometimes in places where only 2 cars can come. It's awesome. I'm loving it. What a great idea to bring in F2 this year for the Creator Series. I'm so happy.
I absolutely love the idea to bring it in. It completely changes the skill set that some of these drivers are requiring. And it also allows a great bit of expansion to the Creator Series, just to bring in some new faces, some new races as well. And give the fear of dropping down from Formula 1 to Formula 2 at the end of the season.
Right, like that's also a great dynamic as well. We're not going to see it too much at the start of the season, but getting near the end of that season, the playoffs for F2 and also the sort of relegation zone for F1, I'm going to be all over that. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait. We're going to get some dramatic moments, but obviously we're going to see that first place in F2 just get an automatic entry right into F1. That right now, I mean, like, Rob's looking the one to beat. Obviously, it's very, very early into the season, so who knows what can happen, but. Yeah. Just to be consistent in China and Baku, right? Like, that's 2 completely different tracks so far.
Yeah, exactly. It's a completely different style of driving, and obviously there's a lot of weeks to be consistent over as well. The question is, can Rob not only make all of the weeks in terms of turning up to the events, but it's whether he can stay consistent in all of those. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of other drivers kind of who can make it every week, but maybe only score P4 or P5, getting up there in those championship points and making a challenge for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to be here to earn the points. So yeah, whoever can be that sort of consistent level, but also do well enough. Like, yeah, this is theirs to win, get a chance to go into the F1 with the fast cars, with the big guys, and just to see what can happen. I mean, but talk about F1 for a second. I hope everyone's looking forward to that after this. If F2 has been this crazy, I'm honestly holding my breath for F1 as well. I'm quite curious of what's going to happen. The cars are bigger and faster, so I just think whoever chose Baku, thank you very much.
Yeah,
this is great.
Amazing choice. And like we said later on, do not go anywhere from 6 o'clock. The legends that are George Morgan and Daniel Gilligan will be in the commentary booth for the F1 race around Baku. Obviously, 100% race round here, so a lot of action for them to cover. And I'm definitely, for one, excited for that to watch later on.
Yeah, like we have a whole day of Baku. It's going to be absolutely great. As we're getting ready for the next, the one-shot qualifying and the feature race, we're going to have 15 laps. It looks like, which I think is going to be great. Hopefully, we get more racing laps. Though let's be honest. Let's
Yeah.
try and reduce these safety cars, shall we?
Let's try and keep it on the track and hopefully not in the walls. And I think our drivers have had a very invaluable learning experience there in the sprint race. And it'll be a really good feature race to watch here as everyone starts to get prepared.
Yeah, right. And let's just hope we get no more rivalries building up. I'm sure there won't be much sort of negative feelings towards anyone. I think everyone's going to maybe just come together and say, well, that was a bit chaotic. Let's try and make sure that we can get a bit more driving. I feel like we don't mind the chaos and carnage, but we need some racing laps to really see who's going to take this. Because, yeah, that sprint race was more sort of were you in the right place and right tyres for the safety car.
Exactly, yeah, and strategy really did come into it in the end. We saw Pear just making a fantastic gamble onto the Supersofts quite early, sliding his way up and then just avoiding all the carnage. A couple of great overtakes towards the end, and that was a really great move to secure him podium.
Oh, yeah, totally. He'll be very happy for that. See, the people that did get up the top, they will be buzzing after that because it's an exciting race. You want to be away from all that carnage. You want to be up in the top spots, obviously. They'll be really chuffed with themselves. I'm hoping that everyone's practiced enough now. One-shot qualifying should be quite exciting and quite close. And what was your sort of predicted pole time? What were you thinking?
My predicted pole time was a high 152, so I'm guessing around a 152.8. We might see a low 153, but it's going to be around that sort of border. That's my prediction for the one-shot quali.
Alright, okay, well, chat, what are we thinking? Who's going to take pole? We thinking Rob? We get Badgerman up there as well, quite close. Who are we thinking? I'm going to be predictable, and I think Rob's going to take this. I don't know. I've seen some quite incredible pace. I know we only had about 2 laps of racing at the end, or a lap and a half, whatever. But Badgerman, was struggling to sort of keep up. I'm not sure if there was damage or whatnot, but he was struggling a bit.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. I don't think Rob's going to get pole here. He had a really great sprint race, but we know some of these drivers can really lay it down when the situation needs it. That 1 lap pace can really come into its own. And I don't quite know who's going to get it, but my prediction is that Rob's not going to be able to get pole here.
Okay, I like it. I'm seeing a Rob in the chat. I'm seeing Hayden as well. Definitely has got the potential for that, 100%. He's just consistent, right? He's just sort of quiet and consistent, and he kind of just makes his way up. It's quite fascinating to watch.
Yeah, Hayden's a really great racer when it comes to opportunistic moves. He won't necessarily force something down the inside. He'll wait for another driver to make a mistake. We saw this in China with just a very smooth style of driving. And again, he proved it during the sprint race, and I hope we'll see it a lot more in the feature race as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think we're getting close to starting up this one-shot qualifying. Very, very excited to see it. We're going to do it all again, folks. We're going back to Baku. And I'm buzzing for this. Will we have the same amount of safety cars? Will we even have a red flag?
Well, you never know. It'll be the first time the red flag comes out in F2 Creator Series history, and what a track to make history at. Hopefully not in that regard, though, but you never know.
Yeah, like honestly, I don't even know what to expect now. I had expectations, and that sprint race was a sprint race, and it was even 10 times crazier than what I thought. It's so much so it's hard to keep up with who's hitting who. But here we go. As everyone's out, we're starting off. Obviously, the times everyone's going to change around like mad per corners, but we're seeing Hoodie Pete in the start right now. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on board
like
with Hoodie Pete just for the first couple of laps. Keeping, oh no, as he's immediately into the runoff zone, Hayden Gillis takes current pole position. F1 Alex getting his spotlight for about 3 seconds, and he drops back down to P4. Hayden retaking that current pole position. Daniel Gilligan, who had a really poor start to the sprint race, is currently sat up in P2.
That's cool. I'm also on Persia, and right now in sort of fourth, third, second area, doing very well. Definitely made their mark in the sprint race, so now I'm quite curious. Actually, just taking the lead as we get fighting a little bit with Alex halfway through the track. Everyone seems to be very close together. Loving this. Hayden up there, Rob up there in fifth. Don't forget about him. He can definitely do that. Also, Matty D very fast as well. Don't write him out yet. Our feature race winner, sprint race winner last week. Yeah, Badgerman's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, from what I've seen, Badgerman's not necessarily the one lap pace. He uses his knowledge and experience to gain those positions up. But the VAR team of Daniel Gilligan and F1 Alex currently sit 2 cars in the top 4 here.
That is great. Love to see that. Daniel obviously reserving in for us today. That is awesome to see. Good on him. Yeah, Persia, though, sticking at that number 1, can we just say, like, maybe we weren't expecting this, but definitely since the podium and the sprint race, like, I'm very excited now to see what's happening here. Rob getting up there again, he's sort of kind of moving between 6th and 3rd a little bit right now, so definitely in a good spot. Hayden, Matty obviously doing well. Looking down the bottom, we've got Hoodie Pete, B-Roy, Matt Amos, Alex. Maybe some invalidations happen, maybe just not had the best lap. We will see as Hoodie retires.
I think it's going to be F1 Alex to take pole, though, all down this straight. He's not going to be able to be beaten. And it's F1 Alex that takes pole here in Baku. It's a fantastic drive by the Van Amersfoort driver. He'll be absolutely ecstatic with that pole. He's been practicing all week, and he will be over the moon there to get pole in Baku.
Amazing. 153.4, great time. Basically 3/10 off anyone else. And Persia second, Rob third. Great consistency from Rob. But Persia looking good now, looking good in that second spot. Hopefully gets a good start and can actually materialise something out of that. Hayden fourth, Sanderson fifth, Matty sixth, Daniel seventh, Badgerman eighth, Duncan ninth, Mikey 10th, Artemis 11th, Zach 12th as we're going for the rest of the drivers down there. B. Roy and Hoodie Pete didn't actually put a time in, maybe had a little bit of an invalidation there. Are you ready, TK? Are you ready for this?
Cannot wait. I wonder if we'll see the Sanderson missile into turn 1 again. But it's going to be a fantastic start to this race. F1 Alex, after a really poor performance in China, and that was his words, poor performance in China, is starting the feature race here in Baku on pole position. He commands this race. And I think if he can get himself into a rhythm and get away from the pack, he stands a good chance here. Not only just a win, but definitely a podium.
That was good. I love that. Yes, like, I'm ready. Give it to me, guys. Create a serious time. Let's do it. Feature race, Baku. I am 100% in. I want the carnage, but I want everyone to get through it as well as they can and have a chance to be able to show their pace on this track. That's the only thing I think where we missed a little bit from the sprint. We had the carnage, we had the chaos, but we didn't get to see people show their skill, show their talent, show the practice that they've been working hard for this week. I'm hoping we'll get that chance. So excited as we're going to start. Can't wait.
I'm really looking forward to it as our drivers get their strategies and their setups just that little bit refined here. Let's remind ourselves of what happened last time around in China. Obviously, Rob winning the feature race, Matty D in the sprint race. And it really sets up the championship well here as they head out for the formation lap round Baku.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm looking at the back. I'm looking at Hoodie Pete, B. Roy, Matt, Alex. I've got Jess even in 14th. I've got a funny feeling they're going to have enough time to anticipate any sort of instance, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Hopefully, Obviously, we don't get a complete grid lock, otherwise there really are going to be kind of the race will be a little bit screwed. But definitely, if they can avoid that, sometimes being at the back is amazing.
Yeah,
Sometimes your
exactly.
first lap, yeah, right. You can just go through everyone on your first lap, definitely get some points for you, which we have a lot of points available, and they're going to be looking for that.
Yeah, Hoodie Pete, especially when it comes to starting at the back of the grid, can be a very smart racer. He knows when to back out of the corner a little bit early just to avoid the instances we see all our drivers just getting their tyres up to temperature. And that was almost Hayden Gullis in the wall on the formation lap there.
Honestly, we've seen it all. We've seen it all in F1 and F2, haven't we? You expect everything to happen at the fast racing laps, but I have seen people DNF on with any amount of things like safety cars, virtual safety cars, whatever. It doesn't matter. There can always be chaos and carnage, and we're ready for it. We're going to see who's going to fluff it up, who's going to be the one to maybe make the mistake. Hopefully nothing, but hey, all I'll say is if we can get through this lap 1 and 2 without a single incident, that might be the first time I've ever seen that in a Baku race in this game.
Yeah, I mean, currently we're watching Hayden drifting around some of these corners, trying to get heat into his tyres. He's on a little bit of kind of a bonus quest by the look of it, trying to drift this F2 car. Those tyres, though, will definitely be up to temperature by the end of this lap.
Yeah, definitely. Also looking at like Daniel, Badgerman, Zach, Sincerely, all disqualified from the formation lap. I was told in the past that it does affect your tires, right? You don't get to heat them up in the same way. And as we've seen going into this turn 1, quite a chaotic part of the race, you're really going to need as much heat out your tires as you can. If they don't have that, we'll need to focus on them, see if that affects them or not, or see if they can just kind of get through it without any trouble. We're getting close. We're getting close.
I think one person that's looking for a better start than last time around is Distinct Artemis. They had a poor start from the sprint race, currently starting in P11 here for the feature race. And I think they'll definitely be looking to make an impact, definitely gain a few positions early on.
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of looking at B-Roy, Hoodie, Jess. I'm thinking they're going to get a bit more luck here. I think not in the pack. I'm very worried for like all the way from Matty to sort of Mikey, Artemis even, in that sort of mid of the pack. Like it's not where you want to be. It doesn't necessarily always going to go wrong for you, but you know you have a lot to look out for. You need to look in front and behind a lot, and you also kind of just need to have good faith in all the drivers around you to not obviously go into you.
What is crucial, though, is F1 Alex has got disqualified on his parking. That puts him a good metre or so behind his parking spot. And if Perja got a perfect bit of parking, that puts him in a really good opportunity to make a move into turn 1 here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. As we're nearly there, coming at the back, everyone's coming in. I am so excited for this. Let's see. Let's count how many race laps we can get. I'll leave it to you, my friends.
Well, waiting for those lights to go out, we've got a rear view of the cars, which is never great. It's 5 red lights. And they're off here for the feature race in Baku. F1 Alex gets a fantastic start out of the line. So does Perja, though. Already overtaken from Rob, trying to go around the outside into turn 1. Rob trying to hold it as they head down. Massive contact at the back. You can see the back of your screen. There's a car park into turn 1.
It's all went wrong with like half the grid get caught behind that. Matty was just flipped around, waving everyone as they were going by him with his car turned around the wrong way. Is that a safe? That might be one of the quickest safety cars we've had. We are back, people. This is it. This is chaos. What happened? Definitely Matty, I think, got a little bit of damage there. What did we just watch, TK?
I have no idea. Currently no safety car out on the track. Matty D has somehow avoided no damage on that. But back up to the front of the grid, F1 Alex has held his race lead so far, and we do have a virtual safety car being deployed. I think pretty much same time as last race, as similar to the sprint race, virtual safety car is out, not even a lap into racing.
The fact that's only a virtual safety car is mad. We had like half the field get stuck behind them, but stuck behind Matty there. Let's look and see who were the sort of big movers. We had B-Roy just saying up 10 spots now in 7th, was able to avoid that carnage, but Matty definitely the biggest loser so far. In lap 1 he was turned 180 degrees, seeing everyone go by him. He's went down 10 spots. Mikey also has went down 8 spots. He definitely got sort of held up in that as well. Alex still was able to take first. The top guys weren't affected too much, which was good for him. Badgerman up a couple of spots, done very well. for himself. Matt Ames and also Hoodie Pete up 6. So yeah, the people at the back, some of them have actually been able to do quite well.
Yeah, both a few guys at the back managing to make up some early positions. Virtual safety car has been removed from the track. That leaves us going green once again. That was a very quick virtual safety car through here. First time through Sector 3. It looks like Alex clipped the wall there just with one of his rear tyres. So maybe a bit of a wake-up call for the VAR driver as they head down. Hayden Gullis already wanting to put pressure on Perjar through this very high-speed bit of the track. He moves to the outside in preparation for turn 1. And I think he's going to get a really easy pass down the straight. Yes, he does. Fantastic move for Hayden Gullis there. Lined it up and got the move done without too much hassle for himself.
Yeah, definitely. And also Daniels went into the pits, but he must have got damaged there, but he's also picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the lane. Oh, a very unfortunate way to add that onto your race. Definitely unfortunate. We have Sincerely has been able to overtake Pete. I think Hoodie had a little bit of maybe an issue with getting the car fast there. Definitely something happened. Looked to be maybe the cleanest sort of kind of half first lap that we've seen so far, but we have spread out quite a bit. That virtual safety car obviously didn't bring everyone back together. There seems to be a kind of gap between 5th and 6th, about 1.5 seconds. The Badger Man's going to have to sort of work through in the next couple of laps if he wants to get DRS.
Yeah, Hoodie Pete's not having the best start to this race. He made up a lot of positions after that early crash, but he is dropping them again. Matty Deese already putting him under pressure, trying to go around the outside here through turn, I think that's 5 and 6. And I think
also Zach. Sorry, mate. Also Zach getting the overtake, just going into the castle section. Absolutely nailed that on Matt. That was a very nice overtake, but he's not giving up. He's going to be waiting for the main straight.
Yeah, Matt really giving a little bit of pressure back to Zach straight away. And there's a chain of about 4 or 5 cars there that I think once the DRS becomes active will form a bit of a DRS train. Alex, though, makes no moves down the inside of Matt Amos. Matt into the wall, and he's lost a fair bit of wing there.
Oh, it looked good when I was watching on. And then he spun. Oh, someone's hit him at the back. I think Matt just went into Alex. Looks like he didn't catch the braking point. That must be damage to both, you would think. Oh, and there's so many of them here now. That's allowed the others to catch up. There's about 5 or 6 people coming into this final straight, all at the same point. Oh, and B. Roy, he's retired. 8th place. I think he's went into the wall. I can't see it.
We're on board with Matt Amos as we approach where B. Roy retired. And I think it's going to be through this sector on the right-hand side there. You see his car. He's just lost it coming through. I think that was 18 and 19. And that's virtual safety car number 2. It gives a good opportunity, though, for Matt Amos to be able to get into the pits and get that wing changed. But I think he's staying out.
Wow, unlucky. B-Roy's he's had a bad time here. Unfortunate. Definitely will be hoping to come back next time and prove himself better than that. Unfortunate. He's a good driver. That's very unfortunate to see. But who hasn't put the car into the wall at those particular corners on Baku? It seems like if you're going to have a crash, it is definitely the place to do it. So very unfortunate. We have some penalties as well. Let's take a look at that. We have a lot of 5 seconds for Artemis, Jess, Mikey, and Daniel.
Yeah,
all worth 5 seconds.
Yeah, a couple of them, I believe, were speeding the pit lane. A couple of them were for contact earlier on at the start of the race. Fortunately, though, all of those can be removed by serving them in the pit, so when they do take their pit stop halfway through this race, they will be removed. Adam Sanderson, though, gets himself a drive-through for speeding under VSC, and that's going to really hamper his race here.
Oh, as Badger gets the overtake on Adam as well. That drive-through is heartbreaking. You know what the Delta can be like when a virtual safety car's ending, especially if you're in a slow corner. It can be so quick before you're lost. You're into the reds and you get a drive-through. It's very unfair. It's very hard to see. Unfortunate. It looks to be mostly clean. The restart, though, all around there. Badger looking good, though, in 5th, but Rob also looking at that lead, right? He's 2 10s behind first. He might even be trying to do it on this straight.
Yeah, Rob's lining up a move here as they prepare to go down this back straight through 18 and 19. They come. Alex getting a little bit unsettled. Fortunately, not clipping the wall. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. And we have got a virtual safety car again. Is that Axel? And that is Axel, who's DNF'd. Oh, sorry, it's Matt Amos, rather, who has DNF'd. Finds himself in the wall.
Oh, I'm not too sure what happened. That there was a few of them must have hit each other as well, very quick. But yeah, Matt is the person that's definitely lost out there. Yeah, very, very hard to see. We do have some people coming in for the pit stop now. By the way, that's all most of the front runners. Persia's in first right now. Alex, Rob, Hayden, Badger, Sanderson, and Duncan all coming in for a pit stop now. That's a lot of the super soft guys that will be going on to the mediums till the end.
Yeah, a lot of
maybe a good advantage.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect opportunity for them to pit. The mediums will definitely last it out till the end of the race here, and it has been upgraded to a full safety car from a virtual. So,
wow.
Yeah, definitely the opportunity to get in the pits. I'm surprised Perja hasn't jumped in as well, but I believe he did start on the mediums, so it's not quite the right time for him here.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? When you take the sort of heavier tyre and then you have an early safety car, it can throw you a little bit in. Sometimes what you can do is like a double pit stop, but it's definitely going to put you down to the back of the pack. I think he's just going to be trying to wait this out. There might even be something else later on, or you'll just have to take the hit later with that 30 seconds or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, I think he'll have to take the hit later on, because if you go to the double pit stop now, he'll probably be coming out probably around 12th or 13th, and that'd be really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, exactly. But there could be more. Like, I don't want to like curse it, but there could be more safety cars. Obviously, if there's going to be another safety car, it's probably going to be in Baku the way this is going. So like, it could like revert itself, and that gives him a good chance to go out in the super softs. Definitely seen that happen before. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to tell now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be one of those that not quite sure anything can happen. F1 Alex and Rob, still not much separating the two of them after going in for a pit stop. And I think we'll see a lot more between the two of them when the safety car gets back into the pits. The Premier team of Hayden, Gullis and Hoodie Pete are both up in 4th and 5th. And those two, again, sneaking up into the higher positions.
Yeah, definitely. I'm also looking at Adam Sanderson, who's now got a new set of super softs on for what could potentially be, I don't know what, 9 laps, 8 laps. I mean, do you think that's going to last if that's racing laps?
I wonder if he's anticipating another safety car later on in this race, having a little bit of relief through those tyres. I don't think they'll necessarily last not 9 or 10 racing laps around here, but I think maybe they'll last if there's a later safety car.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, maybe it's just at the stage where, you just have to take that sort of punt and like, is there going to be another safety car? I need to sort of put all my eggs in this basket, otherwise I'm just not sort of in the right sort of strategy. There's also, he does have the penalty. Obviously, Sanderson does have the drive-through. I forget he does have that to deal with after the safety car goes. That in itself is just going to make things 10 times harder now.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for him because he didn't get the opportunity to serve it the first time around, and now when the grid's all bunched up, he's going to have to serve it and drop right down to dead last, and it will be a bit of a recovery drive for him in the next kind of nine or so laps that we will have of racing here.
Yeah, definitely. It's just not a position you want to be in. At this moment, it looks bleak, but this is F2 racing at Baku. Anything, I like, there's still a scenario where Sanderson wins this, believe it or not. There definitely is. If there's another safety car, if you get, after he's served his drive-through and he gets the right tyre strat, who knows? Anything can happen in these races, right? It's madness.
If I've learned anything from watching the Formula 2 for the last couple of weeks, anything can happen in these races. We've seen people go from first to last and last to first, and never rule anyone out of these races.
Right? My goodness, I cannot believe it. This has been amazing to watch. Looking at the winners again, looks like Hoodie Pete right now up 13 spots coming to this safety car. He started, I think, last, essentially, and this is quite mad. He'll be very happy.
Yeah, I believe Hayden's game just, he's left the session. Hopefully he gets back in before the safety car heads back in, otherwise that'll leave the driver currently in 4th in a bit of a tough spot.
Definitely. Definitely the right time for it to happen as well, though, during the safety car, obviously, so we won't be missing out on too much. And who knows, maybe AI driving will win this race today.
You never know. Safety car not in this lap, though. There we go. Hayden Gullis getting back into the lobby nice and safely, and in more than enough time before this race gets underway.
Definitely. It's not looks like we're not going to be going back this lap, so we're definitely going to be going at the end of lap 6, I would imagine, which is going to give us about half of the race left. Looks like Hayden's actually disconnected again. Hopefully they can get that all fixed up. Again, perfect time for it to happen while the safety car's on. Yeah, Daniel as well lost 8 places since the start of the race. He'll be a little bit disappointed by that, but certainly not over for him yet. And yeah, a lot of people have sort of reverted back to kind of where they were, where they started. For the one-shot qualifying. I'm not seeing too many movers. Yeah, obviously Jess at the back as well right now, hoping that she can avoid some of the chaos that has been happening and maybe
I'm not sure what's happened to Matty D. I'm just hopping on board with him. I think he was stuck in the pits by the look of it. But he's reset to track. I wonder if I think he tried to pit and maybe spun out on pit entry. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I'm looking at it. It looks like he has a new set of tyres on, so they've not had a lap done yet, so I'm assuming there was a pit stop done. But yeah, into 13th for now. Will be sort of looking to see if he can get into those that sort of top 8, like maybe to get enough points. Badgerman looking good, looking consistent in 7th right now. But honestly, I did say you didn't quite get the pole, but Rob seems to have a real good race. I mean, you know, if he's not going to get the poles in qualifying or whatnot, it's certainly not coming over to the race because he always seems to be about right now. Persia and Alex, though, doing really good, have a really good chance to win this. And Hayden's doing that thing that we said, right? He's kind of just, every sort of safety car, virtual safety car, is kind of coming up 1 or 2 spots. He's now going to be fighting for a podium with Rob.
Yeah, he's snuck up once again up into P4. He knows what race he's got to run here. He's probably aware that Perja hasn't pit yet either, so he's got that on the back of his mind. And I reckon he can definitely see a podium in his future. He's just got to keep it consistent and wait for others around him to make those mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just seeing as we're coming to the sort of end of Sector 2, if this safety car doesn't go in, you might start to see people trying out the super soft. Like right now, like Matty's giving it a go. Oh no, there we go. Safety car is going to be in this lap. And we have like 4 drivers that are not going to reach this. We have Zach, Daniel, Jess, and Alex. They're all trying to catch up to the pack, but I don't think it's going to happen if this is a fast restart.
Yeah, I think Perja will make quite a fast restart out of this one. He knows Alex and Rob behind him on the fresher tyres will be looking to try and get past him quite quickly, get him out of the way, so to speak. And yeah, he's got to control this restart to the best of his abilities. When's he going to go? When's he going to drop that hammer? And F1 Alex has got to respond as quick as he can. Oh, bit of contact there.
Oh,
Hayden's gone?
Wait, and now Hayden's in the lead. Okay. I don't know what happened there, but he's just went 3 spaces up as we're coming into turn 1. And Pearson now in second. Let's see if they can keep it clean. We're looking at yourself. Very nice. It seems to be so far. The sort of first 4, they got off to such a good start already, about 1.3 seconds between them, down to Hoodie Pete. Everyone seems to be as quite neat as we can. Looking at everyone doing quite well. Very nice to see it. Oh no, we have a yellow flag at the back. What has happened there? It looks like Zach has went too far in turn 1, right into the runoff, and now he's trying to get back onto the track in last place.
Yeah, unfortunate for Zach there. We're still on board with our leaders at the moment. F1 Alex still trying to get a move round past Perja. It's not happened through Sector 1 at the moment. And Rob still trying to get past F1 Alex to regain effectively lead of this race.
Yeah, that is mad. Hayden, though, in a good position. Not like I did not see this coming. He's right now in first. We're coming to the castle section. Let's see if everyone can get around it nice and safely. Obviously, you do not want to Leclerc yourself here. Beautiful section of the track, though. I love that they've built it around the castle. Amazing. It feels amazing to drive. It feels so tight, especially if you're ever in cockpit view as well. It's a wonderful track to go around. Everyone seems to be doing quite well here. A little bits of gap separating between everyone. But Rob definitely does not want to let Alex get away. But Alex is fighting, right? And Persia wants that to get back into that sort of DRS because we're going to need that next lap. And he's going to need that if he wants a chance.
Yeah, Persia will be a bit of a sitting duck next time around when that DRS comes in. We've had Sappy in our little analyst chat, if you remember him from last week, one of the co-commentator alongside myself, just saying that Hayden's having wheel issues. That's the cause of this little bit of jumpiness. So great to know from what's going on from Sappy there.
Oh, Hayden just kind of smacked the wall. He's lucky that wasn't a tyre off. Looked like quite a hard hit. I don't know if it's gave him damage or not. We're going to see he's not coming into the pits, so I'm assuming if it is damage, he's fine. or he might have got a bit lucky, but he's already got 2-second leads. Oh, we have a couple overtakes. We get Sanderson coming in to serve that drive-through now. Good luck to him. He's going to need another safety car.
Yeah,
Getting very close here. On you go, sorry.
No, it's just F1 Alex still holding on for dear life, trying to get past Perjar. Rob still under pressure. This train of 3 or 4 of them, as Hoodie Pete is slowly starting to get involved as well. I feel this might go on for some time, this little battle here. I think it's going to be until Perjar has to pit.
Yeah, definitely. And Perjar will have to, yeah, he is still on the original tyres, so he will definitely have to come in there. Matty up a few spots now. Those super softs, I think, working very well for him. He's basically the only person in contention to win this race that's done that. This is quite mad, to be honest. This strat might actually work. Oh, we have another yellow flag coming back down to find out who that is. Struggling to see. Oh, it looks like Daniel's lost a spot as well. We do have a yellow flag. It might be Zach again or Adam Sanderson. Definitely a little bit of issue there, but we are back to green.
Yeah, Adam Sanderson has lost a little bit of front wing, if I look correctly. But yeah, back to green flag racing, this front 4 pack. Hayden Gullis has taken off, so to speak. Got a 4 and a bit second gap from Perjar. Not quite sure what's going on with himself. Wheel issues is what we're being told.
Maybe he needs to keep the wheel issues then, if he's in first by 4 seconds. Because this is quite
whatever
bad.
he's doing, keep doing it. Because he is absolutely flying at the moment.
Yeah, it's crazy. Although I am taking a wee look at the chat, it looks like maybe on other person's stream, Hayden's not actually in first. So there might be like a little bit of issues from our end or from someone else's end. We'll look into that, try and get that fixed right now. But definitely some close battle going on. This is probably the longest we've been without a safety car, so well done everyone. We've made it halfway through the feature race. We are racing now.
Yeah, I'm staying on board with Matty D at the moment. He's currently in 6th. DRS gets enabled as we start lap 9 here of the feature race. Matty D tries to go down the inside, contact between him and Hoodie Pete. There's a little bit of wiggle from the Premier car of Hoodie. Oh, not Hoodie Pete. It would have been Badgerman. Sorry, that was Hoodie Pete into the pits. And Matty D is effectively now up 2 positions up into P5 and immediately wanting to try and challenge Rob, Perjar and Alex. Alex having gotten past Perjar down that back straight.
Okay, yeah. Yes, maybe there's some. I've just seen Hoodie Pete just drive right through the pit wall from the track to the pit. So maybe there might be some issues with the lag or something.
I think there might be. Yeah.
Did you see that?
Well, he was on the straight for me and then wiggled.
I just seen it drive right through the wall. Quite amazing. Let's see who our closest fighters are. We have Matty doing very well in 5th, trying to keep up with Rob, or maybe trying to even take the position coming into castle section again.
Yeah, Matty D's done really well on these super softs at the moment. I think it was a good plan by him, but it's for how many laps can he keep up this pace without destroying those tyres? Rob, if I'm Rob right now, I'm very, very worried. Matty is quick and on quicker tyres.
Okay, I'm starting to think there's maybe been a desync issue. I think we're going to maybe have to try and fix that up. I think we're looking at the wrong side of the race that's going on. But let me just quickly see if we can get a bit more. Yep, so Hayden is actually in 3rd, Persia 4th, Badgerman 5th, Matty 6th, Duncan 7th. That's what I can see right now. Yep, definitely some issues happening there. Maybe we can try and get back into the lobby or whatever to fix that. Everyone's going to separate a little bit as well in this sort of mid-pack. Hayden's still definitely on for a podium though, but Persia like really trying his best, but I'm not too sure if Persia does have to change the tyres or not. But oh, there we go. Badgerman actually just gets in front, going into 4th place now. Definitely doing very well for himself. Good to see.
It's a bit weird because we're watching a completely different race on the stream at the moment. Badgerman, you said is in 4th place. Currently on our stream is in P6. About to go for a move on Matty, I believe. I'm really struggling to tell at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, I'm trying to find a different place. Maybe, do you know what? Maybe I can leave and you can invite me again, and I can see if it works up or vice versa. Definitely something going wrong there. But Rob in 2nd place, definitely just Mr. Consistent. Definitely. Hayden, though, is not going to give him a chance because he wants to try and get that sort of spots. Matty D with a 3-second penalty. Those super softs right now keeping him in 6th place.
Yeah,
doing very well for himself.
Headed onto the intermission screen just while I get yourself back in, and then I'll do the same and reset what we're seeing.
Of course.
Sent you an invite. There we go.
Thank you very much. Badgers went nearly in, just at the start of castle section, has went nearly into the wall. That has got a bit of damage there. Oh, and he's having to do like a 40 point turn, to be honest, to get back onto the track in a safe way. All the way down to the back, it's looking like now. Okay, as we are loading back in, let's hope everything's just went back to the way it was.
Fingers crossed, everything sorts itself out. I think Hayden being lobby host when he left, I think that's what's caused the desync. But it's one of those things.
Definitely. Sadly, I will say Hayden's still first on my game screen, so I don't know if that is going to work the way we wanted it to, but we'll figure it out.
Just loading back in.
Yep, cool. Let me know.
Zach RC now hosts the lobby.
Yes. Looks like we have a little bit of crash on my end as well, by the way. But yeah, going back to Badger Man, he's now down to 11th place. Definitely unfortunate for himself. Definitely unfortunate for himself. He will be looking to try and fix that next time.
Yeah, started very positively. We know he's got the strategy brain behind him, but obviously maybe just a bit of an unfortunate event for him there.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to find Rob's point of view. Rob in second place. He is within the DRS to Alex. So definitely he could be on for another win here. Like, that could be amazing. But can we just say F1 Alex is doing absolutely incredible. Hayden and Matty kind of fighting really hard for that third podium spot. Matty does have that 3-second penalty though, so he's going to have to, if he does get that third, he needs to get away from Hayden, who I don't think is going to make it very easy, is he?
No, I think Hayden's going to put a lot of pressure on Matty here. Matty's got past him, but I wonder how long those tyres are going to last. We saw they didn't last very long in the sprint race. I can't see them lasting any more than maybe a couple of laps more here in the feature race. And luckily, our timing screen has sorted itself back out. We can see F1 Alex back in the lead of this race.
Incredible, incredible. If you could send me one last invite, if that's okay. I had a crash on my end. Perfect. But yeah, no, very good. Matty has actually got by Hayden though, and has maybe made it about a second now gap. Like, okay. It might not be over for him. Looks like Alex might have touched the wall there a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're appearing offline, so.
Oh, great.
I will try and find it. Give me 1 second. I apologise for those trying to watch the screen. Watch the stream, rather. There's not much we can do about this at the moment, as I try and get my co-host back in.
We will keep you updated for what we can see, though. As I say, Alex is just, he will be sweating a little bit this time. He's got about 4 laps to go. Can he get this win? DRS will be open now. We're going to see how strong it is. Rob's about 6/10 behind starting at the start, so we'll see.
Yeah, Rob and F1 Alex definitely putting on a show here with 4 laps to go here for this feature race in the F2 Creator Series. Alex looking for his debut win in either a sprint or a feature race after qualifying on pole. This is definitely the sort of position he wants to find himself in.
Oh yeah, like totally. Like, good on him, good on everyone. We have had a lot of racing laps now. Oh, what's happened?
Contact between Mikey Silks and I believe yours sincerely, the Invicta teammates, heading into turn 1. Just got a little bit pinched into turn 1, and that is front wing damage for Mikey Silks. And I believe Distinct Armitage might have got a bit of front wing damage as she's headed into the back of Mikey.
That's so unfortunate. It looks like Baku, a breaker of hearts, I like to say. Definitely. And yes, I'm back now. Thank you very much for that. We're back with the correct times. Yeah, good on Matty for doing this. He's now 2.3 seconds away from Hayden. Like, he's got 3 laps. He only needs half a second now, and he can actually take this podium spot with a penalty. That's mad. Yeah,
that is it a 3-second penalty that Matty currently has, I believe?
It was. Like, I'll see if it's changed at all. No, it's still 3 seconds indeed.
So yeah, he's just got to get that half a second. I think the tyres are definitely going to be dying off, but so will Hayden's. And this is where kind of your challenge as a driver is to try and keep those grip with the dying grip levels.
Yeah, exactly right. This is it. This is when we find out. Oh, and there's a bit of, I think that might have been Matt's wing that
Matty
came off.
D
Did you see
the
that?
wall front right end plate he's missing there in the Carlin car, and that's going to really hamper his cornering ability, especially on the super softs with dying grip. Will that see him in the wall later on in this race? I really hope not. He's had a fantastic drive. We've got a VSC somewhere.
It's all went wrong. I cannot tell who it was, but we're going back. I'm guessing it's someone down the bottom. It's hard to tell who exactly that was there, but yes, we have a virtual safety car, which is probably going to be the last sort of safety car that we have. I can't imagine we can get another one after this. Very hard to see like why that happened though, but we can reset for a second. What will Matty's actually went into the pits. He's decided it's probably in his best interest to get that wing fixed. He will lose out on some spots, but not too many. I mean, there's some gap, right?
Yeah, I think he'll only lose one spot, and that will be to Hayden. Yours sincerely just gets the move done. I forgot how slow pit stops can be in Formula 2.
Yeah.
So he probably will drop down to probably about P10 here, but maybe benefit outweighs the negative effect of that front wing brake. I believe Badgerman also coming in further back, is that?
Yes, it is. But he had that quite a bad crash just going into the castle section. It's a very, very tricky corner. That right hander, you can take a lot of the curb, but you can, you don't want to do it too much.
I think he might have put on the wrong tyres as Badgerman comes out on wets.
Yeah, that may have been an issue. I'm sure we'll find.
Yeah, I think he was looking to flick the change wing option to yes, as he hasn't changed his wing. Mikey gets a 20-second time penalty for speeding under VSC. VSC gets removed with 2.5 laps of racing action here in the F2 Creator Series, powered by EA Sports. F1 Alex keeps on his charge to get his maiden win here in Formula 2.
Yeah, go on. We're watching. We're rooting. Like, that's amazing. He's been done very well to get himself around this race and stay in the lead. But Rob also, like, we cannot sleep on Rob. He is a fan favourite, so right now as well. And Owen Matty's been DQ'd from the session, parked to the dangerous location. It looks like at the end of turn 3 in the runoff, so I think that might be the end of his race, definitely. Coming into, I think, the final straight, half a second between Alex and Rob. No DRS yet. Hayden 9 seconds off. This is definitely either Alex or Rob for the victory here.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a little bit of tactical games going on. DRS has been enabled. Rob has the DRS heading down the final straight here as we head into lap 14, the penultimate lap here of this F2 feature race. Not going to make an opportunity to dive down the inside into turn 1. F1 Alex still holding the lead that he's held for the entirety of this race. Qualified on pole and still holds the race victory. A lot of pressure on his shoulders at the moment. He's got just over 7 miles of racing to do, and Rob is going to be putting so much pressure on that young man's rear wing.
Oh, and at the back of the field for the last 3 spots, Daniel, Zach, and Badgerman all have came into contact a little bit at the end. Badgerman's lost his wing completely. He's going to have to do a pit stop. That will be the end of his race. Very tight race, and no one wanted to give up that corner there. Yeah, Daniel, Zach, and Badgerman all, I think, have taken a little bit of damage there, but Badger certainly coming out the worst.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be a battle here for P3, effectively. Artemis has done really, really well to get into P4. Hayden's still holding on to P3 at the moment. There's about 4 seconds between the two of them, but Hayden's definitely not getting anywhere near the second step of the podium. That is going to be reserved for either Alex or Rob as things stand.
Yeah, definitely. As we see, I'm taking a look to see who's the biggest winners so far coming into this final lap, or final lap and so. Artemis up 7 spots now, looking into 4th. Well done. Oh, we actually have a yellow flag here. I'm not even too sure. Oh, and there's the Alpine sponsor car. Oh, it's Mikey. He's done a 360 straight into the wall. Not too sure the contact was with as well. That's definitely going to be the end of his race. Lost, full wing has been lost. We'll have to come into the pits. I'm guessing that will be the end there. As Sanderson now goes into 7th place.
Yeah, Perjar making a good move up on Duncan as well to get up into P5. He's had a bit of a sneaky silent race once again, but finds himself up in the good point scoring opportunities. Here we go then. Penultimate time down this back straight. F1 Alex still controlling with Rob with the DRS. Rob into the pits though. I wonder what's going on. F1 Alex has failed to use both compounds.
Oh my god, did he not know he had to? No!
Oh no, heartbreak
and Rob
for
went
F1
into
Alex.
The pit as well, that would have been his win. And two drivers have just thrown away the win at the exact same time. Hayden goes into first now, who was not likely to ever win this race. What has just happened? I thought we were done with Baku in this way. My God. So yeah, there we go. Hayden Gullis is now in first. Rob actually might still just keep second. He's coming out just in time between Artemis and Persia that are coming very closely. Rob will still keep second, but he's definitely thrown away the win here. He could have got around that final lap.
I mean, Baku has provided a fantastic bit of race as Artemis spins. That's contact between her and Persia. Persia then takes P3 back, and Artemis into the wall. Fortunately, no damage, but that will pucker her podium opportunity. She gets disqualified as well to top off a bad weekend, and that's just going to make things bad to worse for the high-tech driver.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Sometimes with the strict corner cutting, if you are trying to flip yourself back around, you can drive the wrong way too much and you will get disqualified. That is extremely heartbreaking. I cannot believe what has just happened. The F1 Alex, oh my goodness, I didn't even realise he hadn't changed tyres. I just assumed it had happened.
I thought he knew what he had to do. F1 Alex had such a controlling lead on this race so far. Rob went into the pits. We thought it was all over for him as F1 Alex crossed the line, got himself disqualified, and then out of absolutely nowhere comes Hayden Gullis. He's been sneaky this entire race, to getting lags out of the session, coming back in, and now he has 8 seconds on second place. Final few corners for the Prema driver. Hayden will come across the line, surely to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here. Nothing can stop him. He's driven superbly here. And down the final straight he goes. Get some celebration in as well. 15 laps he has covered. A great drive from Hayden. Across the line he comes to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Rob will take second here, and Persia once again with a bit of a silent race will take third step on the podium and fastest lap at the end.
And chaos is still not over. I'm so sorry for interrupting. We have Alex spun on the track at a really bad corner, and everyone's just went into him as well. Daniel has DNF'd coming into the end. The carnage is still there, coming all the way, and we have lost Daniel. Oh my God.
The carnage did not stop when we crossed the line. Daniel Gilligan, who was on for some good points here in his first reserve race, crashing out after contact with Alex. And Alex will, believe, just get home to score P9 on track, but will lose that in penalties. Jess Games and yours sincerely will inherit a couple of positions here. But Duncan secures P5. In P7 is Mikey after that earlier collision, which lost him a front wing. Zach's done well to stay up in P8. Yours sincerely takes P9. Jess takes P10. And then Alex and Badgerman are the two that finish 11th and 12th. I believe they will still score points based off the point scoring. It's top 15 get points here. But I have no words to describe the racing I've just seen around Baku.
I feel emotionally scarred at this rate. That was insane. I have never, and I don't think I've seen many Baku races a bit crazier than that. I would love to see the incident report, and in the game when it shows you all the incidents that have happened. I would love to see it. That is insane. I want to just say well done to everyone for getting through that as they could. Obviously, F2 cars at Baku. This is quite crazy. It's not been done before with the Creator Series sponsored by EA. Amazing, right? As we see, Hayden Gullis takes the 25 points there. Oh, sorry, but the points will be determined by the top 15. But Hayden Gullis in first, Rob second, Persia third, Sanderson fourth, Hoodie Pete fifth, Duncan sixth, Mikey Slicks seventh, Zach eighth, yours sincerely ninth, F1 Alex in 10th. With that invalid tires, I cannot believe he threw that away at the end.
All he had to do was pit, and it was pretty much a guaranteed P2 at least.
And then at the same time, Rob pitted. Did he have to do the pit stop, or was he in the same boat?
I think he must have been in the same boat, surely.
He must have been, right? There would have been no reason to do that. And that gave Hayden the win. It's like, Hayden won. Like, I mean, he was looking strong. Definitely he was looking strong throughout the race. But we didn't expect that going into the final lap with Hayden being, maybe in between 10 and 20 seconds behind?
Yeah, he was about 12 seconds behind when when Alex crossed the line. We have got some guys loading up for an interview, and this will be fantastic. We've got Persia and we've got Unstoppable Rob. Let's bring Rob in first, as Hayden currently not available for interview. So this is currently P2 and your championship leader, Rob, coming in for a chat. Rob, good afternoon. Well, good evening now. Fantastic drive by yourself. How would you sum that up?
Well, disappointing, I will say. No, but to be honest, the sprint was really good. The feature as well, like the fight with Alex was really good. And unfortunately, we missed that rules, that forbidden you to stop before lap 4. I mean, you can make your stop before pit 4, but it doesn't count for the rules to swap the tires. And then on lap 14, like one lap before the end, I get the message, be careful because you're gonna go over the rules and you're gonna be disqualified. That's what happened to Alex. And so then I took the decision to pit. And I don't know how, but I'm still finishing P2, so I could be happy about that.
Yeah, it was a fantastic recovery. We saw you dive into the pits at the last second. I thought you were being a little bit crazy. I was like, you've thrown away P2 here. And then we obviously saw Alex getting disqualified and a fantastic bit of thinking last minute for yourself there to secure some good points.
Yeah, I mean, more than that, Skyzy just before the race told us, because I was in voice chat with Pirja and Skyzy, told us that we need to be careful because there is a rule that you cannot pit before a certain amount of lap, but we didn't know which lap it was. And after like the first safety car, I pitted and then I put medium and I said to Skyzy, no, but the rules doesn't exist on F1 game. Stop saying that. It doesn't exist. And then on lap 14, seeing the message, I was like, but no, yeah, it was needed.
Well done. You absolutely nailed that call. You kept yourself second place. Yeah, there was a lot of chaos there. You did have 20 odd seconds between you and third place. Like, well done. Well done. Great call. Great race, though, to avoid the trouble everywhere. Like, that was kind of a bit chaotic. I'm sure you've done races at Baku. Where does this sort of rank in sort of other Baku races you've done? How did the car feel? Did you feel like you were on a knife's edge throughout the whole race, or were you starting to feel a bit more confident with it?
It was really tricky in race, either in sprint or feature. Both were really difficult because the car, like only on the first 4 laps, the car was really good in terms of grip, etc. But then after that, when the consumption of the tires is increasing, then you're losing grip again and again. So when in the feature on lap 14, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pit, but my tires anyway are dead. The medium are completely dead. So the track is really difficult, especially in F2, because on the last aces in the last sector, and that's where we see all the crash in the sprint. It's really difficult because you need to lift. You cannot go full throttle like in F1. And the car with the tire wear, you got a lot of understeer. And then it's really difficult to keep the car on track. So yeah, it was difficult. It was not an easy one. I mean, compared to China, it was really good because I liked the setup, etc. And here in Baku, it was really difficult.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing your experience. It's been 2 weeks out of 2. We've managed to chat to you here for the podium interviews. Are you going to look to make it 3 out of 3 next week?
Well, I'm going to try because there is also the 24 hours of Daytona, so I'll make a double things next week. I will do F2 and then the 24 hours of Daytona. But yeah, I will try. We don't know the track yet, I think. So exactly. So we will see. It's the mystery.
Well, best of luck to you. Hope it all goes well, and hopefully we'll get the fan voted in very soon.
Thank you guys, and thank you again for the stream and all the content that you are creating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Let's get Hayden Gullis in, the somewhat unexpected race victor in, and let's see what he has to sum up for this race. Hayden, how are you doing? A little bit of an unexpected win there for the feature race. Talk us through how you're feeling.
I'm completely and utterly shocked right now. I don't know what has occurred. I was chilling. I was like, okay, cool. We got some space now. I can't catch the leaders. I can't be caught. P3. Let's settle for that. And then I go into that final lap. I see Rob's in the box. I'm like, what are you doing? You're stupid. Why are you boxing? And then I see Alex gets disconnected. I'm like, oh my god. And I expected the same because I boxed on the same lap as them. So I'm very confused as to what's happened. But for now, I will take my race win. It might be reverted. We'll have to have a look at that and just make sure everything is legit and verified. But I am just shocked. This has been mental.
It's been one heck of a race, both from a spectator's point of view, but from up here in the commentary box as well. we both thought Rob was crazy going into the pits on that last lap, and then everything happened since. But yeah, fantastic drive from yourself. I heard you're having some wheel issues about halfway through as well. So
Yeah,
not quite sure
had
what
the,
happened there.
had the disconnect. My whole internet just went down on my PC, and it happened literally just after the race finished. So I haven't got the results. So I'm going to look at those. But so I was quite lucky with that. But when it came back, then my wheel was that sort of system where it's like really light and you lose all force feedback. So I was having to try and figure that out. Luckily, got it back. I went a bit too aggressive as well on the formation lap because I was just trying to warm up the tyres. And I didn't realise that you get tyre wear on formation laps because my lap 2 and knowing that we had a virtual safety car for the whole of lap 1, lap 2 I had 30% tyre wear on the rears. I went through the S's and I slid nearly into the barrier. I was like, what is going on? I hit that barrier a few times, to be fair. I got very lucky in that race.
Yeah, we were watching your formation lap on stream, you drifting through half the corners, and I was wondering how much effect that was going to have on your rears.
I was having great fun. I was like, this is brilliant. And it's not going to give me tyre wear, but I'll get temperature, so it's all fine. Rock up one lap later. Oh my God, I need a safety car now. And it came at what I thought was a good time. It came at a good time for me, not everyone else, because they all got disqualified.
It was an amazing race. Like, we've seen some crazy races at Baku, but that from start to finish was absolutely insane. Like, well done for being the person that actually was able to get through all that, not have your car destroyed, not get caught up in the sort of no ghosting when the whole track gets kind of cluttered. Like, just well done all round. Like, consistency to the max. Like, amazing. Well done.
Cheers, man. I did struggle with it in the sprint race. I'll tell you that. I just got told by my chat to box for some fun, so I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm only in like 4 points at the moment. I might as well have some fun. I head into the first corner of the restart, and there's a massive pile up, and I just get stopped. So it was quite impressive going from 15th to 7th in that race. It was a lot of fun. It's always good fun with these people in F2. It's a good bunch.
Definitely, and that's what a lot of it's about is having a good race and good laugh as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody's been enjoying themselves over the last 2 weeks, and hopefully next week we can get back to having 20 drivers again.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come speak to us.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to hopefully seeing you again next week.
Hopefully see you again next week.
Alright, take care. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, and congratulations on the win. Well, we'll see.
you
We'll
very
see once
much.
it's determined. But for now, congrats.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your evening.
Cheers, you two.
Take care.
Finally then, let's get Perjar in after a very good couple of races, sneaking in under the radar and getting some good points. Perjar,
Yes.
good evening. How could you sum up those 2 races for yourself?
What? What? Summers?
How do you sum them up? How do you describe these races?
Ah, yes. On the sprint, my strategy was to wait the chaos and wait the moment for taking position. So I did nothing, no overtake until the last lap. I did like 8 overtake just in the pit lane. So it was cool. The sprint was cool, and it just my strategy was just based off luck. Because the feature race, I was just starting on mediums and wait the safety car in the end of the race, but never happened. So I pit on the 12th lap, and it was I was lucky. Everybody was disqualifying. I have a 20-second penalty.
Yeah, it was a bit chaotic in that feature race, and we were saying on stream you kind of came under the radar in quite a lot of the races. You were sneaking up the positions, not necessarily making big moves, but it paid off for you in the end.
Yeah, I was just waiting the good moment and the safety car. Because every lap we saw someone we know, oh, it's in the castle, oh, it's in before the straight line, okay.
It was insane. Sorry, on you go.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I hope it was cool to see on the mainstream too.
It was crazy. It was chaotic. It was so much fun. Well done for just being able to avoid all of that. Like, we loved that. There was action every minute. Every corner there seemed to be something going on with someone on the grid. And yeah, you yourself getting up there, getting to that P3, like, awesome. Just awesome job. Well done. That could not have been easy, especially with the F2 cars. How did the F2 car feel? Did you feel in control of the car, or was it a bit all over the place?
Oh, it's just a little bit more heavy, but I feel good. I had already did a league in the past on F122 on F2, so
I already tried and I like it. It's cool. It's
Oh,
changed
yeah,
a little
good.
bit before the F1.
Yeah, definitely. It looks great to watch. We love it. We get to see some more racing going on. We get to see people making moves that maybe F1 cars can't necessarily do in the same way. And yeah, like, well done. You and everyone else have just put on such a good show for us all today. I know I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Well, next week up on the F2 Creator Series is the fan voted GP, so keep an eye on social media for how you can take part in voting for the track that our drivers do attempt next week. But for now, that's all we have for this week. Thank you to Scott for your time and for your expert in the comms box alongside me.
Expert, I don't know about that. But TK, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. I've had so much fun with you. This has been such a cool event. I know there was a few more safety cars than we want, but wow. Chaos at Baku, breaker of hearts. Been a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me, man.
It's been a pleasure. Do not go anywhere though. Stay tuned to the Twitch channel, because in just under 15 minutes time we will have the legendary pairing of Daniel Gilligan and George Morgan taking you through the F1 Creator Series round Baku as well. Do not go anywhere, because that's going to be a fantastic event to watch. But for now, in the F2 Creator Series, it is all time to say goodbye. So we will catch you next week. Same time, same place. Good night.
Take care.